Greetings, everyone. This video is presented by Team 9. It's an honor to introduce our product ProCoder to you. ProCoder is to help students improve their learning by creating exercises themselves and solving ones posted by other students. In this presentation, we'll be covering the following sections. You'll meet our development team, learn about the background and motivation of our product, and have a closer look at our solution. Then we'll conclude with what we've achieved and overcome during the development process, then tease our future directions. First, say hi to our developers. Our team lead is Lingshu, who is a full-stack developer and the one fixes most of our bugs. Jinghua is our backend developer, who's in charge of database and server maintenance. Tong is a full-stack developer focusing more on the front end, and Fengyuan is our main front-end developer who is in charge of server deployment and UI. Laura is a UI and UX designer who's also in charge of QAs.
Practice makes perfect. Practicing is the most helpful way for people to learn and develop their skills, especially for coding. The university is using CodeRunner for students to practice and learn programming skills. There are also many fully functional websites out there that provide those exercises at different difficulty levels. However, a fact that the computer science teaching team discovered is that students rely too much on the feedback that the website gives them. Students stop testing and debugging their code by themselves. Instead, they click on the pre-check button over and over again until they pass all the test cases. Most students doing so wouldn't have the ability to bring up comprehensive test cases. If they carry on this lorry habit, what will happen if there are no pre-check button or no feedback at all? Once they enter the workspace and start developing a program, there is much higher chance that their program will not work as they expected. So perhaps we can encourage students to create their own exercise and make up the test cases. We can also provide a platform where students are able to discuss programming with each other. These, in our opinion, are essential steps for starters to become a pro in coding. Thus, our product is named ProCoder. P in our logo represents pro, inspired by the peasant logo, and C represents coder, inspired by the C# logo.
Now I will get you to dive deeper into our solution. First, let's have a look into our final product with our demo video.
Welcome to ProCoder. This is a recorded demo for our product. What you're seeing now is our homepage. On top is our navigation bar containing our logo and links to different features. Here's our leaderboard, and most 10 users with the highest points will be displayed, along with their profile photo, username, and points. These cards give some brief explanations on the features that we support. Down the bottom, we have a self-promotion table of our strengths compared to other platforms. Now let's go and explore some questions.
Our Explorer page is a list of questions, and most of 5 will be shown on each page, auto-ordered by question ID in descending order. On the left, there's the search function. We can search by question content including the words in question titles, descriptions, and tags. Or we can select one or more tags that we want to browse. For each question, there are 4 sections for different aims. Details of this question are shown in the first section on the left. We can see the function name, the description of what we need to achieve, and some examples provided by the author. The solving section is on the right. We can put our solution here and press a check. Fitting the test cases look like this. And successful submission will look like this. We took inspiration from CodeRunner, and the tool we are using for code checking is JobSolver, the exact same one that CodeRunner is using. Job is a server that supports running of small compile and run jobs in a variety of programming languages. Job compiles the source code and runs it with the given input data. It returns a run result object containing various status information plus the output and the error output from the run. We use that information to provide feedback to our users. Since we submitted some solutions, we can now see them in the submission history. Clicking on the view code can check your past solution. You can use this function to help others in the discussion area. Like, this user is seeking help on how to solve this problem. If you are kind enough, you can choose to share your solution. Further details on the discussion will be covered in the community section.
Dispatch solving questions. We wish to simplify the process for users to create a question. The tag field section rather than text, so users that have no idea on what to post can have some hints. Of course, this may lead to a lack of variety for the questions, but our future plan does contain custom tags. Back to the present, we now need to provide a title, function name, description, and our sample solution. The preview window will give the user an idea of what will show up for the users who is trying to solve this problem. Then, we need to provide the input with some print statements for the test cases. Click on the check button, it will use the sample solutions to run the test cases with Job and generate the output. If we found the accepted output is not what it should be, then we know that our sample solution is somewhat not correct. We made the sample solution a required field, not only to simplify the process of generating test cases, but also to reduce the chance for error to occur in the test cases. After double-checking the test cases and the preview window, we can press the post button. Now, if we go back to explore questions, we can see the one we just posted in the top.
Now let's have a closer look into the user community. As you might have noticed, two different search methods are on the left-hand side of this page. They work the same way as the ones on the question page. There are two types of discussions, general discussion and comments on question. Users are able to reorder comments like this. General comments can cover a wide range of subjects. They don't need to relate to any of the existing questions. We are now seeing a general discussion. We can join the discussion by sending a follow-up comment or just simply click the like button. Of course, if that was a mistake, we can click on the like button again to cancel the like. We can also share our thoughts by posting a general comment and choose 1 to 2 labels that match our content. Do keep in mind that empty comments are not allowed. Let's have a look at the other type of comments. For the comments that are linked to a question, their tags are derived from their questions. The only difference is that the description of the question is above the discussions. We can join the discussion here, or we can use the link, jump straight to the question page.
Clicking here will lead you to the profile page. Your account details are displayed here. You can change your profile photo or edit your info. The whole section on the left displays your activities. These are the achievements we just achieved by posting, solving, and commenting a certain amount of times. Here's our recent submission history, containing the question title and our results, green for passing and red for failing, just the same as our results showing while submitting. We can also see a line chart showing our activities in 1 week and details of each day in this week. There's also a pie chart showing our overall activities. This point here, below our profile photo, is calculated by our participation in ProCoder. As we just did some activities, we are having some points. Finally, we can log out by clicking here, and we can see the demo account is now on the leaderboard. more content coming up in 1 second.
The tools we use can be roughly divided into 3 parts. The back-end development using C#, .NET 6 database storing with the SQLite. Our front-end development using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and Bootstrap. And we are using Swagger and Postman for testing. Other tools that we used include Job Server, Monaco Editor, AWS, and etc. Job Server provides feedback for user submissions, and we used Amazon AWS to run our Job Server. We have also deployed our .NET 6 backend and static frontend on AWS. This is what our database and the relationships roughly look like. A user can post multiple questions, submit solutions, or leave comments on a question. They can also reply the main comments with follow-up comments and achieve some achievements. We have also developed 6 controllers for controlling how users interact with ProCoder. Any changes to the database is done by users, but is only possible if the user is logged in. As we mentioned, some features are user-only. They will go through the authentication process to make sure that the user are already logged in for access. For example, our key feature posting questions. Logged in user can post questions by providing the required details, as we shown in the demo. The post questions are then interactive for any user. They can choose to either try to solve it or comment on it. Questions, solutions, comments, and follow-up discussions will be stored in our database once submitted.
In our database, all the achievements are saved and won't be edited by users. Each achievement is stored with a type and an integer condition. Anytime when a certain type of action is successfully submitted by a user, it is going through the count method at backend. This method counts the number of times this user does this type of action. For example, after I pose a question, this method is going to return the total number of questions that I posed before. Then, if this count is reaching the achievement condition, it is going to generate user achievement data that links between the achievement and the user. The achievement badge will tell the type with different colors and the condition with number inside of it. They will be visible in the user profile like this. Points are calculated by the user's involvement in ProCoder. Any successful actions may bring some points. Posting or solving questions, interacting with others, getting positive feedback from others, etc. Similar to achievements, any successful actions will add points for this user. Our calculation formula is still brief. We would change this easily in the future if needed. The 10 users have the highest points while showing in the leaderboard. ProCoder, compared to other platforms, have the following strengths. Students' involvement. They are able to post problems in a rather simple ways instead of simply practicing problems. A community closely related to the question, so that users won't need to copy the question to the other community platforms like Piazza. However, our database is completely based on users, which means that the amount of users will influence the experience of other users a lot. We cannot really solve this problem, but we have some achievements and a leaderboard that encourage all the existing users to participate in the activities.
Our team is proud of our outcome. We basically followed our original plan and achieved most of the tasks in time. Most of the basic and bonus functionality we planned are all done. We came up with a few new ideas every now and then, but we managed to fit them in while fulfilling our plan. The first challenge we ever faced was that half of our team was offshore, another half onshore. There was a 4 to 5 hours difference between our team, which made the team communication a bit harder for us. The biggest challenge we went into was the achievement features. The first version of our database design didn't contain the entity user achievement, and we went into some trouble with how and when to add an achievement for a user. Luckily, we came up with a solution. Another problem we ran into was we reached our AWS budget limit because of some mistakes. Thanks to the help of our instructor Asma and AWS solution architect Ruskin, we resolved the issue. Setting up the job server is also quite challenging. We spent more time than expected figuring out how it works, and we end up have only Python fully functional. Our original plan was to have at least support Java and C as well. Through the meeting with our client, we decided to defer this and focus on other functionality of higher priority. Our backend supports users to rate the solved question without needing to provide common content, and makes the rating a reference for the users that are interested. However, we came up with a new idea, and it became a part of a larger idea that popped up late in the development. That is still an idea due to the time and knowledge limits. The idea is that users who successfully solve this question will have multiple permissions on it. They can add more test cases. If the author of the question didn't come up with comprehensive test cases, why not let the ones solving them add more to it? Our purpose is to encourage students to come up with more test cases. And the tests don't have to be based on questions they created. Authors will also be able to edit the test cases. They can raise this question. For people exploring questions, they will see the higher rated questions first. And if an author's average rate is too low, we will make this author's question harder to get discovered. They can also post highlighted comments, maybe to explain the question better, or some hints that might help people. The highlighted comments will be ordered by likes they received, so the most helpful ones will be on the top. All users can add solving tags for a question. An example would be an author posting a question with difficulty level easy, but few users are able to solve it. For the ones that are aiming for an easy question, they can get the question a art tag with a file submission. Then we will display the solving tags that this question received to the users that are browsing in a new feedback section like this.
We wish to support more user custom options, whether it's custom tags for posting and solving, or more cosmetic options to decorate their profile, or simply a nighttime mode for the whole website. We need to add a section in their profile with links to their posted questions as well. We also need to make the user profile for everyone to access, so users can check the profiles from the leaderboard. Speaking of the leaderboard, there's more to improve for the points calculation. The users that get positive feedback should also be rewarded. For example, getting high ratings for a question or getting a lot of follow-ups and likes for a comment. More variations of leaderboard will be introduced, like most rated questioner, most liked communicator, etc. With lots accomplished and lots to improve, that's the ProCoder we presented. Hope you're interested in our product, and thanks for your participation. We're open for any further questions.